I'm now going to continue my commentary of this book right here, and I'm going to read you a passage from Exodus chapter 22, verse 25. If you lend money to my people, to the poor among you, you shall not deal with them as a creditor, you shall not exact interest from them. What does that mean? Okay, picture it. You are a rich person in Judea, okay? So a Galilean neighbor comes to you and says, hey, look, I need to borrow $100 off of you. Say, well, sure, I'll give you $100. Well, then, at a certain point, that Galilean will owe you $100. Now, what was going on here was that, say, you were a rich person in Judea, and a Galilean came up to you and said, hey, look, I need to borrow $100. What these Judeans were doing were saying, okay, we'll let you borrow $100, but I'm going to charge you 10% interest. So when you return that $100 back to me, you're really going to owe me $110. You say, well, Exodus chapter 22 forbade that. It did. Here's the thing. A lot of those Galileans couldn't read or write. Now, if they couldn't read and write, they couldn't read the Torah and find out about Exodus chapter 22. Because if they had known about Exodus chapter 22, they could have used that against that Judean and said, look, we're not paying you any interest because the Bible says we don't have to. The Torah says we don't have to pay you any interest, so we're not paying you any interest. And have the Bible justification or the Torah justification to say that. When you don't know what the law is, you can't use it to defend you. And these Judeans knew this. The Pharisees knew this. The Sadducees knew this. The Essenes knew this. But they carried on anyway. They were literally breaking the Torah because they were depending on the ignorance of the Galileans. That's bad. Now do you know why you have to be so smart? Let me tell you something. Let's say we have two guys, they both need a loan. One's smart, one isn't. Now the smart guy, he goes to the first lender, and the lender says, hey, look, I'm going to loan you, say, $1,000, okay? But you're going to pay me 30% interest. Well, this smart guy says, yeah, chuck this. I'll go to the second loan guy and I'll find out what he's going to pay me. What he's going to do. So this smart guy goes to the second lender, and the second lender says, hey, look, I'll loan you $1,000, but I'll only charge you $15 to do it. So if you borrow $1,000 off of me, you're going to be owing me $1,000 plus 15 more. Instead of $1,000 plus 300. Well, guess what this smart guy's going to say? Yeah, I'll take your money. A lot cheaper to get it from you than from the first lender. Now, what about the stupid guy? Well, the stupid guy, he goes to the first lender, and the guy says, hey, look, I'm going to give you your $1,000, but when you give it back to me, you're going to owe me 30% interest. Well, because this stupid guy doesn't know about the second lender, he's going to take what he can get. So now he's going to have to pay back $1,300 instead of $1,015. Now do you know why you have to study and show thyself approved? The difference between the smart guy and the stupid guy was because of the education. That's why I have a YouTube channel here. Alright. I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.